ET Capital video. So today I'm going to be talking about a very, very simple topic. I'm going to keep this video nice and short because, to be honest, this is a topic that I could go on about forever. Um, just because I think it's so critically important, and so many traders overlook this thing. And what I'm going to be talking about today is reviewing your trading, right? What I call it is weekly review because I do it on a weekly basis, right? So for me, weekly review is probably the most important part of my whole trading plan. Okay? So I've got a trading plan, right? I've got a trading schedule, and it entails a lot of things. It entails creating a weekly outlook. I think I detailed quite a few of the things in some previous videos, and I'll link those to the video. But I have a lot of steps in my trading plan that I go through. That's my process. That's my process of trading, and there is no one size fits all. Right, for each individual trader, there's a different way of doing things. Right, depending on your trading style, so on and so forth. Your temperament, everything about you. Right, you need to individualize this to your own liking. Right, but for me, as a rough guide, I make a weekly outlook. I do an economic report for the week. Then I obviously trade throughout the week. Every trade that I take, I track and I put it into a record, right? And I take a screenshot of the trade and so on and so forth. And then at the end of the week, I review all the economic data for the week in economic report, right? So at the end of the day, I fill out all the data. And then at the start of the week, I prepare so I know what economic reports are going to be released. And then the last thing I do to end every single week is a weekly review. And this is the single most important part of my plan, of my schedule, right? All the other things are important, they're useful. I include them because I find them effective. But the weekly review is the game changer for me, right? And of course, there's more things on an individual, on any single day I do, other little habits, right? There's loads of different things. There's loads of different things that I include in my plan. And of course, as always, I'm going to be going into those in future videos. So, stick along if you want to see future videos on those things. But weekly review, the reason it is so important is because the weekly review is a period for you to go over your trades taken and go over the trades you didn't take and see why you should have taken it, why you didn't take it, or if it's a trade you took, why you took it, could you have improved how you took the trade, how you managed the trade, how you took profits, where can you improve, where could you what did you do poorly, what did you do well, and how can you improve, right? So it's really a process of reflection. And in that process of doing the review, that is where the growth and that is where the improvement occurs. And for me, I found a weekly basis is the ideal period to do it on. Right? Some people opt to do it daily. Some people opt to do it, monthly. For me, a weekly basis is a good set of time. So I do it at the end of every single week. And it really is such a critical point because you can get lost in individual trades, right? You can get lost in individual trading days. And when you have this process, this time to reflect, when your emotions are away from the charts, right? So you can do it on a Saturday, Sunday. I do it on a Friday, but you can do it any of those days. Your mind's off the charts, right? And you can use that time to reflect on your trades without emotions, and you can learn where can you improve, how can you do better, and you move that into the next week. And weekly review is what allows me to continuously grow, to continuously improve my trading. And it's the one tool that without a doubt has made me a profitable trader over almost any other tool. So let me get into this document that I made recently. I made this, as you can see, last edit yesterday. Yesterday was a Friday. So I did it basically right at the end of the trading day. You can see at the top, finished out. Last edit was 3 p.m. yesterday. That's right at the end of my trading day. I got it done. And funnily enough, last week I took 0 trades. But as you can see here, there was multiple trades that I reviewed, right? And this is it's a good period of reflection for me to say, oh, perhaps I should have taken these trades, and that's something that I'll be carrying into me with me next week. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate with your trades, and the reality is I didn't really hesitate. A lot of these ones I just wasn't at the charts, right? So you can see here I went through each day. Monday, there was absolutely no trade I could have taken. There was nothing on the charts for me that I could have taken. Tuesday, there was one single trade that I could have taken. Now, I wasn't at the charts when the trade played out. So again, I can't do anything about it. Wasn't at the charts. But it was something that fit my rules, fit my criteria, fit everything that I do to trade. And you can see there's 1 hour, there's daily, and there's also some word analysis in these charts, detailing more things of what I do poorly, what I do better. And this is a trade I could have taken, and as you can see, it would have been a win. And that's first TP. It would have extended, continued down, and that is a trade I would have happily taken, but I wasn't at the charts, right? Here we come to Wednesday. This was a news trade, a scalp on news. Once again, I didn't take this at the time. I didn't really like it. I noted it down because ultimately it did fit my rules, but I wasn't really a big fan of it. I wasn't really looking at the news that in depth. I wasn't that prepared for it, so no trade that day. Absolutely fine with not taking that trade. To be honest, trading news is not my favorite thing. I kind of do it more or less. I keep trading news to when I'm feeling confident, or when I know it's a high volatility news event. Prelim GDP is relatively high volume, but just to be honest, wasn't a huge fan of the way price action was playing out. But nonetheless, this was a trade that it fit my system, so perhaps I should have taken it. And again, this is something that I perhaps need to improve on. Thursday, this was the one trade, the big trade this week, which I should have taken, but I did not take. And there's various reasons why I didn't take it, right? So I detailed some of the things with little notes here, right? But basically, price came into my level, and we saw some breaks of structure. And if I'd entered, it would have been a winning trade. Now, in my analysis I did in these on this chart, this was about a C to a B setup. This was not an optimal setup. This was not the perfect setup. It wasn't a phenomenal setup. It was a B or a C. And it made me hesitate, and I just didn't take the trade because it wasn't the best trade. It wasn't the best. There was a few things going against it. There was news upcoming in a couple of hours. The level wasn't the strongest level that it came into. We had just reacted off of a strong daily resistance level, so on and so forth, and the price action, the bullish breaker structure wasn't incredible. So I opted not to take that, and I don't have really a major problem with that, because for me it was a B or a C setup. But ultimately, once again, could I have taken it? Yes, right? And then Friday, there was an NFP news trade, and once again, it was Friday, it was NFP, it was late in the day, and for me, it was just, I didn't want to trade NFP. It's as I said, news trading, I have a system for it. It's profitable, it works, but quite often I don't opt to trade it because it's not my favorite way to trade. And that's why quite often I don't actually trade the news. I decide to just look at the outcome, and then allow setups that I'm more comfortable, that I'm more confident to set up. But again, my overall analysis for this week was there was a handful of trades the whole week that I could have taken. I didn't take any. Now, really, there was only one trade that I think I should have taken that I didn't take, and that was Wednesday's. And for that reason, the thing that I'm going to carry into next week that I think I need to improve is don't hesitate. Don't hesitate when a setup comes your way. Perhaps it's not the perfect setup, but don't hesitate. Take that setup. It fit your criteria, fit your rules. And I think in this week, I was away from the charts Monday, Tuesday, so I wasn't even there. Wednesday, a news trade, not trading news at the moment, really. Just don't, as I said, not my favorite thing to do. So the only real setup that I think I should have taken was this trade. It wasn't an optimal trade. So overall, I'm very happy. I sat on my hands. I sat on my hands. I'm very happy with that. I cannot complain with that. It was a good week to sit on my hands. For me, price action this week was pretty terrible, right? I very rarely saw setups. Quite often in a week, I see far more setups than this. This week, really, there was only one, and it was a kind of an average setup. But nonetheless, it fit my criteria, and I most likely should have taken it, right? Was it an optimal trade? No. But it fit my criteria. It was about a B or a C setup. I think I should have taken it. And that is the area of improvement that I need to do. Just because it's not perfect doesn't mean I shouldn't have taken it. I shouldn't have hesitated on this trade, and I should have taken it, and it's as simple as that. So that's my area of improvement. Is if a trade comes along and perhaps it's not optimal, but it fits your criteria and it's a decent enough setup, you should take it. You should roll the dice. Perhaps I should have lowered my risk instead of just not taking it, cut my risk in half, gone 0.5R, right? And yeah, so anyways, that is something that I'm going to be looking to improve, and that's a minor improvement that I'm going to be looking to make. So just to conclude here, once again, weekly review is an absolutely critical process. If you want to improve your trading, you have to have some form of review, some form of reflection in your trades, such that you can analyze the mistakes you've made, and not just the mistakes you've made, but what you're doing well, and you can make actionable steps to improve for the following week, for the following month, whatever it is. And for me, my weekly review concluded I need to hesitate just that little bit less. The setup doesn't need to be perfect. It can be a B setup, and that's okay. Lower your risk, perhaps, on those setups, but don't hesitate. And that is the critical thing that I'm going to carry on to hopefully improve on next week. And that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Please give a like, subscribe, all that stuff, and check out our socials in the bio. Thanks very much for watching.